we're going to stay with Brexit. And coming off the comments from Theresa May that she gets irritated by those speculating over her position as Prime Minister, and really saying that with only 6 months to go, we should be concentrating on Brexit. We're going to speak now to Jonathan Isaby, editor of Brexit Central. You, of course, provide a one-stop shop for all the twists and turns on the subject of Brexit. What do you make of the goings-on over this past weekend? We have Sadiq Khan, who's now saying, changed his mind, and he's now saying, yes, we need a second referendum. We have Vince Cable saying they're not going to buy anything.
Well, of course, people like Sadiq Khan and Vince Cable were heavy campaigners for the Remain campaign back in 2016. And they are like all the other people who are saying they won't support any deal. They won't support Brexit. They want another referendum. All the people saying those things are people who supported Remain and didn't like the result of the last referendum. And frankly, it gets a bit tedious, these people coming out again and again making these points. Although in Sadiq Khan's case, it's interesting because actually immediately after the referendum, and this is a point that Andrew Marr put to him this morning, that he had actually said he accepted the referendum result and that to have another referendum would be extremely divisive and it would create a lack of faith in the democratic process amongst the people who voted for Brexit in such massive numbers, as indeed they did. I think he was actually right then, and what he said now is the wrong side of things.
Yeah, this idea of a second referendum is two subjects really that have come up, I think, over the last 24, 48 hours. The possibility of a general election and referendum Mark II. How do you think people are going to vote? What do people want?
I think people want the government to get on with delivering the result of the referendum we had in 2016. More people voted in that referendum than had ever voted for anyone or anything in British electoral history. And they jolly well expect the government to get on with delivering it. When I talk to people around the country, they seem astonished that more than 2 years since that referendum, Brexit still hasn't happened. And certainly the notion that politicians should be trying to reverse that result or engineer some form of second referendum to rerun the vote all over again, I think people find exasperating.
Well, is the feeling then that the Chequers plan will deliver it?
Well, I think if you look at what has been said about Chequers from across the range of voices, whether it be the robust Eurosceptics in the Jacob Rees-Mogg in the Conservative Party, to moderates in the Conservative Party who voted Remain, like Justine Greening, all the way through the opposition benches, and indeed to Michel Barnier and the voices from the European Commission in Brussels. No one seems to think that Chequers is the right answer. In fact, there was some polling just the other day that suggested the British public thought that was the worst possible deal that there could be. You know, what we've got now over the coming weeks are a series of important meetings. There's a meeting the Prime Minister will be at in Salzburg later this week, the European Council next month, and then we expect probably a special summit in November where European leaders will throw all this stuff out. And what I think the Prime Minister probably needs to be looking at is going back to a kind of Canada-style free trade agreement, which is what the European Union offered the UK in the first place.
OK. Jonathan Isaby of Brexit Central, thank you very much.